Good morning and welcome to Elevate Conference 2024. I must say that it's a privilege to be speaking to young people like you who are seeking for every opportunity and platform to improve their lives, improve their family lives, and last year, I was also a speaker at the Elevate conference virtually, and this year I am excited that it is happening live in the city of Enugu. It is unfortunate that I was not able to make it to be here present with you, but the power of technology have sincerely and practically bridged the gap for us, that you can hear me and then drive the same information I would have shared if I were to be there in person is one thing that is busting my brain. It's one thing that is busting my brain. So if you look at that, several years ago or hundreds of years ago, our great great grandparents were not able to achieve this. They were not able to get information in the speed that we are getting it today. And as I delve into my topic, before I delve into my topic, I want you to also see that as an advantage, as an opportunity that you must have to maximize the the technology that has come to enhance our lives and businesses as entrepreneurs. You must have to maximize it. Maximizing it to the highest order should be a core in your life's endeavor and in your work to progress. I want to firstly appreciate my convener and my host for this meeting, for giving me this platform. I do not take it lightly that she gave me this opportunity to speak to amazing people here. I as I said before, I was here last year, and this is my comeback on this platform, and it's something I do not take for granted. I am always joyed whenever I get the opportunity to speak and to impart on younger people and even older people, because the audience I speak to are a mixed audience. So I am always joy. I always have joy. If I say I am always overjoyed, I wouldn't really be very far from it. Whenever I get this opportunity, I am excited because I am following a biblical principle that says that we should keep sowing, keep sowing, keep sowing seeds everywhere. And I want to believe that what you are going to hear from my session this morning is a seed that is going to germinate, bear fruits, and on the long run, it is going to um, become very valuable experience for your growth. I want to also appreciate you for being here at this point. I am aware, or every one of us in this room, we are all aware that thousands of young people are outside there, even in the nearest location, even within the vicinity of where we are, we can count thousands of young people. And a lot of them have heard about this conference, saw the publicity all over the city of Enugu, but you made it to be here. So I want you to please clap for yourself. I'm going to give you a few seconds so we can appreciate ourselves. So please appreciate yourself. Give yourself that celebration that you deserve. Give yourself that celebration that you deserve. Thank you so much for celebrating yourself. And I hope that as we delve into the next very important part of this conversation, that you are also going to celebrate yourself by picking very important and non-conventional points that is going to help your life. Okay, so my assignment this morning is to discuss on the global entrepreneurship ecosystem, the opportunities and the challenges and the opportunities that are available for every person, every young person who wants to do this entrepreneurship thing, who wants to play this entrepreneurship game and play it very, very well. I mean, play it on a global scale. Someone will say, is it a game? Yeah, it is a game. Even life is all about gaming. Life is a game. And if you understand how to play it and play it very well, you are going to win. That is also the same thing also applies to politics and every single part and endeavor of life. I wouldn't want to bore you with the definition of several terms associated with what we are talking about today. I would just want to go straight to the point and give you a simple definition of how I personally define entrepreneurship and the processes uh, involved in it, how I define entrepreneurship and all the processes involved in entrepreneurship. I usually say that if one must succeed in the journey of entrepreneurship, if one must play this game of entrepreneurship and win the battle, or the game is not a battle, we must see it as a game and not a battle. If you must play this game and play it very well, especially on this global scale, you must understand first. You must understand that entrepreneurship is is just like signing up for trouble, right? The moment you wake up and say you want to get the entrepreneurship route, you automatically sign up to become a problem solver. So at every point in time, you're going to be encountering problem, and your ability to be able to resourcefully solve this problem makes you uh, a good player. Yes, that's the right word to use, a good player, because we have already said that this is a game. All right. So your ability to be able to solve this problem using creativity, innovation, and every other arsenal by your side to solve this problem makes you a good player. You must have you must understand that it is a call to problem solving. That is a simple definition according to me. That is my simplest definition of entrepreneurship, a call to solve problem. So if you want to play on the global scale, if you want to play on the global scale, you must know that you're ready to become a global problem solver. And of course, global problem solvers, I want to repeat it again, global problem solvers enjoy the global dividend. Of course, we know a lot of them, a lot of people who solve problems on the global scale for large people all across the world. You know their network. So I wouldn't want to use the little time we have to begin to discuss them and discuss their network. So once you become a global problem solver and the world recognizes you as that, just forget about it. The dividend is coming and is coming in quantums. All right. So if you want to become extremely prosperous, extremely successful, you must look for a global problem and solve it. So without wasting time, I am going to discuss 5 basic challenges you are going to encounter if you want to play entrepreneurship and play it on the global scale. So the first challenge that you encounter as an entrepreneur, whether you are playing on the large scale or on the soft scale, large scale or the small scale, global or locally, is the issue of access to ideas and capital. Access to ideas, or we could say access to legitimate and uh, profitable ideas and capital to fund them. Um, it's important to recognize this as a challenge, and once we've been able to recognize it as a challenge, we'll be able to solve them, because the problem becomes the problem you can solve. There's no how you can solve a problem without first knowing the problem. So some people will be like, "Oh, we've told you several times. I admit to that money is not your problem, but when it's time for you to scale, you understand that you need money, right? So if you're still playing on the small size or on the small scale, if you're still playing locally, um money might not be much of your problem, right? If you've not started at all, money is not your problem. But if you must scale to play on the global scale, if you must scale to play on the global scale, you must solve that issue of capital. All right, capital. Of course, you don't fund an idea that you have not gotten. So we must recognize and affirm that that is a challenge, so that we will be able to solve it. All right. So number two is technical advancement. When I started, I said that technology has given us a platform for us to be able to bridge the gap that you can communicate with someone who is anywhere in the world in split seconds. And if not for technology, I don't know. I don't know how I would be speaking to you at this point, because I am far away and I couldn't make it. All right, in as much as for months now, I have planned and tried to seriously strategize on how to be in this meeting, but I couldn't make it. And if there was no technology to aid our conversation today, it simply means that I am going to miss speaking to you. And the same thing applies to businesses. All right, the same thing applies to businesses. These are challenges. If you're not in tune with the technological advancement, if you're not in tune with the use of the new media and how to be profitably engaged or promote your business using the new media, you might be left behind. All right. Number three is increased competition. Of course, we've talked about the technological advancement being an issue to um, yeah, being a challenge impending the growth of young entrepreneurs. And what do you expect when we have the technology advancing and advancing um, very rapidly? You don't expect anything less than increased competition. All right, so there's competition all over on the global scale. You don't think that that idea that you have, that you are the only person who has it. You'll be amazed that if you look up on Google or on any platform search engine, or you do your research very well, you're going to see people doing the same thing, exactly the same thing, or slightly different from what you have in mind. So you already have a competition. Even if you do not have a competition now, just give yourself 1, 2, 3 years. People are going to come and compete with you. And it's a free word. Yes, of course, it's a free word. So you must begin to think of how you can be able to innovatively place yourself 5, 10 steps ahead of them, even when they want to. They will not be able to catch up with you and your brand. All right. So the fourth we have is managing global teams. if you must play a global game, the global game of business and entrepreneurship, you must learn how to manage global teams. If not, you are going to have issue keeping up your entrepreneurship journey, right? Many businesses have collapsed because they couldn't manage global teams. If you're looking out to become a great entrepreneur whose products and services are going to be nationwide, worldwide, you must learn how to manage a global team, a team of people with different backgrounds, different experiences from different places, thinking differently, and have philosophies that are quite different. All right. So you must learn how to, if you don't manage them effectively, you are going to be off the ladder. And I'm sure, I'm particularly sure that you don't want to be off the ladder. Now, the next is the global economic. I think that's the last. The global economic fluctuations. Of course, you are playing on the global scale, and the economy of diverse nations and the global economy in general will keep fluctuating. So you must factor that in your plans. You must factor that in your forecast. When you are forecasting, you must factor all that in. All right. So let's quickly run through the opportunities. All right. It seems like what has posed so much challenge to us also seems to be opportunities if we must see them the manner in that manner. All right. So it's all about perceptions and perceptives. Which perception are you seeing this from? What is your perceptive about this? All right. So the new media has posed a lot of opportunities. It has proposed a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurs. The new media has proposed a lot. So if you want to play on the high scale, if you want to play on the global front, you must learn how to use the new media. You must invest in training your team to use the new media. If you don't do that, it's going to be very difficult for you to scale. No matter who your audience are, you must learn how to use the new media and learn how to use it effectively. There's a difference between using the new media and using the new media effectively and efficiently. So you must learn how to use the new media. When we talk about the new, we talk about basically the social media and all the technological advances that help us communicate around the globe. All right, that helps us communicate around the globe. So you must learn how to use them. You must also invest in strategic, non-restricted partnership around the globe. So the second opportunity is strategic, non-restricted partnership all around the globe. As a young entrepreneur, you must begin now to build relationship around the different nations of the world, because of course you are out to play global, and you want your businesses, you want your brand, your products and services to be properly managed and projected in those nations. So you must have a friend. Begin to put it, have it as a project. You must have a friend in every nation of the world. You must have a friend in every nation of the world. Just give yourself 1, 2, 3 years. Begin to build strategic relationship. Know people who are doing things, not just anybody around the world. No, not just anybody around the world. You can start with African nations. You can start with African nations. Begin to know people who are running businesses, people who are doing entrepreneurship, people who are thought leaders around these nations, and begin to build strategic partnership with them. Begin to know them, begin to talk with them, begin to, if you can learn their languages, that's fine. Because where you are looking at is not just here, you're looking at somewhere all above you, and you cannot do it alone. You are only one person, and one person can stay in one place at a time. You are only one person, and one person can only stay in a place at a time. So please don't restrict your relationship to people in your locality where you become a local champion. Everybody is hailing you. You are this, you are that, your brand is this, your brand is that, and you are just limiting yourself to just staying here. You are just limiting yourself to that small corner. Like you see, for several years now, and I told myself, and I tell anybody who care to listen to me, that even if I want to take a chieftaincy title in my village, if they are not going to give me a global chieftaincy title, I'm not taking, because my village is too small. My village is too small. I am a global person. And if I'm taking, I already have a name of the chieftaincy title. And if you don't add global, if you want to say Akebucho, one of Amuri Kingdom, I will not take Akebucho one global. All right. So there must be a global attachment to it. So don't play so small because you are restricted in the noun. All right. Finances, technology, and every other thing can become a problem and restrict you in the noun. But your mind should be engineered in such a way that you are not restricted, because technology has given you that platform. So find a way to make friends, valuable relationships, people who are nationals, not Nigerians living abroad, people who are nationals in those places, because you are going to need them when you begin to go global. So, thirdly, opportunities, technology. We've talked about technology a lot. So, technology gives us those opportunities that you can from here send stuffs to any country of the world. You can from here send emails and messages, and it gets in split seconds. You don't need to go to any to the country you want to send your products to. You can export from here, and you never step your foot in those countries. You can export from here, and you never gotten to US, and you're sending your goods. People are buying it from there, and that is technology and innovation. So you must look into them and be able to use them, and use them wisely and judiciously. Use them wisely and judiciously. All right. So the last I'm going to be talking about, because we are far beyond time, is knowledge. In one of our books, we rewrote one of the chapters. Please know. All right. Please know. This talks about knowledge that is would I say transactional? I don't think transactional is the right word to use. Knowledge that is continuous. You continuously acquire knowledge. All right. The social media, sorry, the Internet of Things and the new media has given us that platform for us to be able to have information and knowledge at the tip of our hands. But young entrepreneurs usually do not invest in those things. They invest in every other thing aside information, aside knowledge, because it has to take so much of your time for you to acquire. All right. So you must begin to invest in books, invest in your time in listening to and watching videos that are going to help you, and keep updated. There's no end to knowing, especially about your business and building a global brand. There's no end to knowing. You must keep knowing. You must keep learning. I usually say that information gets outdated. So what you knew yesterday could change today. All right. When we were growing up, they told us that when you were writing a letter, your address will be the first address will be by the left on top, by the right on top, and the second address be under it by the left. As we began to grow, we knew, or we heard again, that you write your two addresses by the left. Some of you have not had that before. All right. So as you begin to grow, you hear there are several English words that are no longer in use, or there are several things that are no longer obtainable. because information things change per time. So you must keep knowing, keep updating yourself because you are the machine that runs the business. You are the engine that makes the money. If you are not updated, you will be outdated. If you are not updated, you are surely going to be outdated. So you must invest so much time and so much energy in knowing and in acting. I want to end here, but I want to thank you for listening, and I want to believe that you are going to put into action all that you have learned. I also want to state finally that um, I want to encourage you that you must begin to think as an entrepreneur. You must begin to think the entrepreneurship way, no matter what you are doing. Even if you are fulfilled in your craft, in your work, or what you are doing currently, you need to begin to think the business way, the business angle of what you are currently doing, or get ideas and make them businesses. Nobody ever made their marks without money, funding. And most of these people are business people. You might argue that and say, oh, my pastor is not this. Go and check how many books your pastor writes in a year and how many of them you buy and others buy and how many millions that is in a year. You must begin to think that, all right? So everybody must be a business person if everybody wants to succeed. You must be selling something, you must be giving something, you must be teaching something, you must be giving out value, solving a problem, and using it to generate a lot of dividends. My name is Chiedozie Okeke, and it's amazing having you listen to me. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next year at the Elevate conference.